Welcome to Sofia, the Dukan Meloman beautiful shop run by Yavor and Margarita, two people who care very much about music, and so I feel at home here. Smells so good. It reminds me of the old days. Doing this is a ritual only people that with gray hair has. This album for me was the beginning of really playing and understanding how to play a story with music. I mean, they're all great tunes, but for me, what it changed my playing was Samba Pati. Samba Pati is like a song played on guitar, and I don't know many other guitarists that did a piece of music that long that you could almost sing it through, and it still does something to me when I hear this tune. I know other guitar players in that era, you know, I used to listen to Black Sabbath, Deep Purple, Led Zeppelin, had a long beautiful solo guitar, but kind of virtuoso thing and a lot of energy. But Samba Pati had something different. It was more of a little line, and I invite you to listen to that again. It's an amazing thing. So it was my days when I put the first distortion, when I bought my first pedal, my first electric guitar was Santana. And I really liked the fact that it played rock, but it included congas. That was pretty new, making it very Latin, a bit more sexy from my point of view. So thank you, Carlos, for making me aware about a lot of things. You could hear this melody everywhere in early 70s. I must have been like 12 when I put all my effort to learn to play the Godfather's tune. For me, it was a turning point because this music is a music my mother really loved. So I enjoyed playing this tune while she was cooking for me. Also got the attention of my teachers at school. I felt really proud doing something that was worth for the adults to listen. So The Godfather did something to me. What can I say about the film? Amazing. Especially The Godfather 2. This is an album I must have worn out. This is my favorite album. They're kind of more folkish, but she had something beyond folk. So, very interesting. I couldn't understand how the guitar was sounding so different. Then I read only years later that Joni Mitchell had a little polio problem with her hand and has invented her own tuning on the guitar. And the tuning sounded amazingly beautiful. Great, great, great album. It kept me companies in those lonely, wintry days in Italy. I still listen to it now. And A Case of You, what a song. River, every song here. There's not one song. Little Green, I play it whenever I can. So, amazing album. And what a writer. When George Benson came out, I knew he was playing hard bebop jazz before. But there was a friend of mine that called me one day and took me to his studio and said, listen to this. And he was so clean and knew exactly what notes to play and singing that way. I was really taken by that. I said, wow, beauty. I think I must have played, This Masquerade, I loved it because I am very keen on ballads. I believe that if you can play a good ballad really well, soulful, then you can read the soul. If you can play fast tunes, you can read the technique. But if you can play a ballad well, that takes somebody that has something to say, soulful. It's a difference. And also I used to play this Breezin, of course. This made a huge impact on my playing, and I wanted to be like George Benson for a while. Then I heard this. These guys. I have heard John McLaughlin when I was 16, a few years before, in an album called My Goal Beyond. So I kind of was following him because I heard about Shakti and I liked it. But when this came out, it was about guitar, and guitar, I was young, I was in my early 20s. There's one track here I really liked. It's called Frevo Rasghiado by Egberto Gismonti. I said, who the hell is this Egberto Gismonti? And I bought this album. You've got no idea how much I had to play it and put the needle. The beginning of Frevo Rasghiado, the way Paco, Lucia and John McLaughlin play here, was monstrous, so fast. I couldn't understand the notes. And I was just putting the needle back. It's impossible to understand the notes. But I kind of got the idea of the melody, but didn't quite get the chords. Until the guitar player that played with John McLaughlin came and gave a seminar in Ancona. Now his name is Christian Escudé, French gypsy guitarist. While he was giving the seminar, he just mentioned, when I was touring John McLaughlin, and I said, have you toured with John McLaughlin? I asked him, do you know how to play Frevo Rasghiado? He said, of course. So he taught me that scale, and he gave me all the chord charts of that tune. So I went back, sitting with the needle again and getting Frevo Rasghiado note per note. So thank you, Christian Escudé, for showing me the way to get into this album, even in a deeper way. I had even a jam with Christian Escudé and my good friend Nino Mancinelli, a great guitar player. This album was like a macho side of me once it's come out. As they put it, passion, grace and fire all in one. And I must say, when Paco, Lucia and John McLaughlin played together, especially those two, for me, was heaven. Later I met Paco many times. I even heard that Paco played in his van with his musicians my album Acoustic Revenge. Carlos Benevente told me that, and I was completely taken by that. Anyway, when I heard Egberto Gismonti, I was in one of these beautiful record players. Must have been 81. I was in Rome studying jazz, and I was going through all the albums. Suddenly I see Egberto Gismonti. I said, aha. And I asked kindly if I could hear it. So there was that time that you could hear some of the vinyls before you buy it. The first 8 bars, I said, yes, I got that album. And that album, Folk Song, it became my Bible. Because in that album, I have found no cliches. Everybody's tend to play in a kind of free way, but everything gathered together in a most amazing, beautiful, lyrical, and harmonically, you know, you can tell that I love that album. So then I bought Magico and entered more the world of Egberto Gismonti. Then from Egberto Gismonti, I start listening to Oregon, another beautiful group led by Ralph Downer, who unfortunately left us very recently. And in level of composition, Ralph Downer for me is amazing. In a level of daring, John McLaughlin, Egberto are masters. I wanted to show you my latest work. It's an album I recorded with a fretless guitar player, Cenk, Erdogan. It's called Storytellers. We have decided to do everything original, so all the songs are original. We recorded in 5 days and was a beautiful experience because half of it was kind of written and half of it was improvised, and it's got all the elements of life, you know, some things you plan, something you don't plan and happens. I hope you enjoy it. If you ever get a chance to listen to the music, that we put body and soul to it. So Antonio Forcione and Cenk Erdogan, Storytellers. Being here is such a pleasure. It's like a temple where the religion is the music, and that's what I believe the most.